Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you the fragrances that I wore for the week. Tried some new ones, have some awesome layering combinations for you, and also have a dud. You've got to have a dud somewhere in the weekend. Yeah, I oftentimes do. So gonna share my dud with you, but I'm also gonna share some amazingness. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to hit that button and join the Weird Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. For those of you that don't know, Canada celebrated Thanksgiving last weekend. So I wanted to wear something kind of special. I kind of wanted to smell amazing and awesome, obviously, because it was a holiday. So I chose Blackbird by Untamed Perfumes. Now this has become, I would say this is like literally my favorite smell of all times. Like, I think that's how, like, seriously, my eyes start tearing when I smell it. I love this fragrance. It's the best thing ever. I love all the fragrances that I have from her. This one, it has spices. It's got rose, vanilla, oud. There's sandalwood, benzoin, all these yummy, delicious notes. There's spices in here. So it comes across as a spiced rose. And what it reminds me of is if the spices somehow had some sugar, some powdered sugar in with it, and you sprinkled it all over the rose and then you ground it all up with some vanilla and some woods. That's what you get. It is so, so gorgeous. I love the way this is blended. I have Santal Royal by Guerlain, and I've talked about the fact that I feel like they're similar. Santal Royal isn't quite as sweet and a little bit more oudy / woody. I prefer this by far. So this, like Santal Royal was probably my favorite smell until I smelled this, and now this takes the cake. I'll leave her website and also the video I did that talked about her fragrances. She's got 10 ml bottles as well now. So I think they're $60 if I'm not mistaken. So she also has a discovery kit. These are extrait de parfum, so you put it on, they last a long time. And I put my fragrance on, my sister's like, what are you wearing? And so I let her smell it, and then she just doused herself in it too because it's that freaking good. So love, love, love this fragrance. And yeah, it was my Thanksgiving fragrance. Next fragrance was Coco Mademoiselle. Now, the reason why I decided to wear this one is honestly, this is one of my favorite fragrances of all times. It's super sentimental to me, but I rarely ever wear it because I've got so many fragrances. And so I thought to myself, I want to wear it. I want to feel relaxed. I find this to be a very relaxing fragrance. It smells classy, it's sweet, very feminine. Just a beautiful, well-rounded fragrance, and also really long-lasting. So love this one. It's got orange. What I get for the most part is a warm citrus with florals and then some vanilla and wood that comes in near the end. The cool thing about this fragrance is that as a citrus, and when I say citrus, I don't mean like a zesty, zingy citrus. I mean a warm, slightly sweeter orange / bergamot. So when you get that, it's nice and sweet and juicy. It smells like, to me, if you just picked the ripest orange off a tree and bit into the flesh and it just shot juice everywhere. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So you get that in the opening, but the cool thing about it is that although citrus tends to be not very long lasting, in this, it lasts forever. So you're gonna get about 10 hours out of this one. I just love it, uber feminine, just such a beautiful, 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 classy fragrance. So for an easy reach, I know I just talked about my easy reaches, but just for a year-round easy reach, Coco Mademoiselle is definitely that for me. Let's talk about one of my layering combos. So one of you had commented that you had worn QUATRE by Boucheron with the Kais marshmallow fragrance. I can't remember exactly what it's called. And you just said it smelled so fabulous. So as soon as I heard that, oh, and I think that they said you should try it with ZUCCHERO FILATO because they knew that I had that. I think that's what happened. So I tried it and it was absolutely beautiful. So QUATRE, it's got a lot of kind of citruses in the opening, which just kind of gives it a little bit of a fresh smell. And then it's got some fruits in there. It's got rose. I think there's jasmine in there as well. And then there's musk, some woody notes, cashmeran, vanilla, and caramel in the base. So what you get at first, it kind of is in the same genre as like an Idole Nectar or any of those fragrances where it's kind of almost a watery rose feel. I think that citrus paired with rose gives it a bit of a watery, fresh feel. So you get that in the opening, but then as it dries down, you get this beautiful kind of rose with the caramel and vanilla, still fresh and watery, but with that caramel and vanilla. So it's quite like addictive and intoxicating, I find. The longevity is great on this, but I paired it with ZUCCHERO FILATO. Now this is cotton candy smell, so I think it's got sugar, spun sugar, and red berries in it. So this smells to me like the pink cotton candy. Yum! So the mixture of these two was surprisingly good. Like I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but they totally work. And this helps to amp up that vanilla sweetness. So this kind of gives the same vibe as an Idole Nectar feel for sure, with this added hit of sweetness. So if you have these two, try it out. Thank you to whoever had suggested this. I'm so sorry that I don't remember your handle. I would have posted it on the thing. But anyway, thank you, thank you. Great little combination, and it made it last even longer. So loved this. For a new one, I tried Boucheron's Ambre d'Alexandre. I think that's how you say it. So this, a lot of people, like I looked on Fragrantica, and a lot of people feel like it smells very similar to Angel Share. I'm smiling because this smells so freaking good. It's got spices in it. It smells a little bit like apple pie somehow with some booziness in it. Love, love, love this one. It lasts a long time. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has vanilla, tobacco, and benzoin in the opening. So you definitely get that kind of boozy tobacco fragrance in there. Absolutely gorgeous. It has amber and labdanum in the middle, and the base is ambergris and musk. I just think that this smells scrumptious. So beautiful for the cooler weather. Like it's just really gorgeous. It does have that Angel Share vibe, so kind of that boozy, slightly apple, tobacco, whatever kind of vibe. Gives me that same sort of thing. It reminds me a little bit of Sultan Noir by Pascal Morabito, but this one's definitely better. It's got a little bit more spice in it. It's a little bit more refined. So really, really impressed with this one. I think that this line is a little bit more expensive than the Boucheron QUATRE line, but this is absolutely worth checking out. If you like that spicy, delectable, boozy, slightly apple-esque vibe from something like an Angel Share, if you like Sultan Noir, if you like Red Tobacco by Mascara, this one would be right up your alley. It's just warm, boozy, tobacco, sweet, sensual, cozy amazingness. The next one I tried was WULONG Cha by Nishane. Now, I'm really sad that I didn't try this one in the warmer weather because I think it would have been even better. But this was definitely a hit as well. So not like any of the fragrances that I've been drawn towards lately. This has definitely got a tea vibe to it. So relaxing. WULONG Cha, it kind of smells to me like the perfect Zen type fragrance. So if you want to smell calm and collected and relaxed, this would be the one I would wear. There's bergamot, orange, and lychee in the opening. I definitely get that bergamot kick. It's a very fresh, slightly green fragrance because of the tea vibe. It has tea and nutmeg in the middle, and then the base is fig and musk. What I get from it is like almost like an Earl Grey tea feel. Not quite that tea-esque. It definitely is tea. There's a bit of greenness to this one. It smells very refreshing and relaxed. So I can see this being a great stress reliever fragrance. Like, you know, when you want something, you want to put something on that just feels really calming, this would definitely be my go-to for that because it's just so beautiful. So this is going on my wish list along with this Boucheron d'Alexandrie because it was gorgeous. Now the one that's not going on the wish list, now I have been loving BDK. Like I love Gris Charnel. I love Rouge Smoking. I love Tuberose Imperial, and I love Possessoir. Like I have fallen in love with Possessoir. Wore it a little bit more, and I just think it's gorgeous. So those are going on my wish list, but what is not going on my wish list is Velvet Tonka. This one, when I smelt it on the cap, it smells absolutely amazing. Like it smells like it would be up my alley. There's a little hint of spice. I can smell the tonka big time in this, like super duper tonka. I struggle a bit with tonka. I don't know why. I think it's like, I know this is nuts, like totally nuts. The shape of the bean and beans in general kind of creep me out. So when I smell the tonka, and I know it's tonka because I've smelled tonka, when I smell that tonka, it just makes me, it weirds me out somehow. So I just, like, I need to get over it, but I don't quite know how. So tonka and me don't get along that great, but smelling it, I could smell the tonka and I just thought, oh, this smells so amazing. There's like a little bit of a nuttiness, really warm, sweet, cozy smelling fragrance. There's some tobacco in there. There's almond and orange blossom in the opening. There's tobacco and rose oil. I don't really smell the rose at all. The base is where you have that tonka and that vanilla. So it's honestly beautiful. It's rich. I can see a lot of people really loving this. Somehow it just didn't vibe with me. So part of the reason why I think that this didn't quite work for me, I had to go do some recording. We're doing this promotional video thing for work. So I had to go and I had to be in kind of like a studio setting and do some talking. And I talk all the time on this camera and I'm fine, but I wanted to like really feel myself. So but I wanted to experiment. Bad time to experiment. So I dressed kind of cool. I smelled this and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I'm gonna put it on. So I put it on and it just wasn't the right vibe for me for the time. So go to do the recording. It went fine, but it's definitely more awkward having to record with someone else, or like, you know, there are a couple people in the room. Definitely more awkward doing that rather than just talking to a camera by myself. And when I found, like, it went fine, but they'd ask me a question like to kind of get me talking, and so I'd start talking, and then I found I was constantly going like this for some reason, like so awkward, like every time, like. So I'm like halfway through, I'm thinking, Maria, can you stop being so awkward? Like, come off it. And then it was actually embarrassing, like this constantly. And I thought to myself, how are they going to even cut that out? Like, so cringy. But I think overall it went fine and it was really fun. Like, I really enjoy doing stuff like that. Not that I get to do a lot of it, but I'm actually lucky. Like, I've gotten to do a lot of creative things in my life. So really enjoy it, but for whatever reason, Velvet Tonka did not do it for me. I will try it again because the notes sound like I would love it, other than Tonka, like it being a bean, and somehow the fact that it's this weird black bean just creeps me out. Not sure why. Just one of those things. So hopefully I'll be able to get over it, because like the smell is like warm, nutty, you know, it should be up my alley, but it didn't make me feel myself. Like I wasn't like getting the vibe that I wanted. So gonna try this one again, but it was a bit of a dud for me this week. Last thing I want to share is another layering combination that I just think is fantastic. So again, I talked about this as an easy reach this past week. Angel Nova. It's a bright raspberry. I think there's lychee in there. There's rose. There's Akigala wood. So it's got a bit of patchouli, like strong woodiness, which is typical Mugler patchouli. So it had that in there. Love the raspberry. It's tart and it's kind of a spicy wood. So longevity is amazing on this, but it is very bright and very loud. So I decided I wanted to try soften it by adding Modeste Deux by Afnan. So this one is more cherry, raspberry, blackberry, chocolate type vibe. It smells in the opening very similar to La Nuit Trésor, but I find that this one actually gets a little deeper and sweeter and rounder than La Nuit Trésor. So when I compare the two side by side, La Nuit Trésor feels a little bit thinner and a little bit fresher. I think the incense is what kind of shifts it. This one, it's definitely sweeter. It's just a little bit softer. So it feels like a velvet type fragrance. So bizarre combination seemingly. They both share the raspberry, but what I found was this one just kind of softened this one up, gave it even greater longevity. Like the two together, fantastic longevity. You smell Angel Nova way longer, but by that point it's kind of mellowed out a little bit. So I just thought this smelled so freaking good. Like I just absolutely love this combination. And I just thought I smelled so freaking good it defied description. So that was my week. What about you? What were your standouts? I would say that my standout, I was pleasantly surprised with this combo. Actually, both the combos were amazing. And then I really, really enjoyed, especially honestly, Wulong Cha by Nishane. Is so relaxing and calming, centering, grounding. All those words come to mind when I smell this. Like it smells like a spa. So this is definitely one that I actually want to get. So that would be the other standout. So that was my week. What about your week? What was your major standout? Did you have a dud? Let me know and we'll talk to you soon.